Hi there, welcome to How Do I Explain This? My name is Manny. I just have to take a break for a second. It took a lot out of me just to get here. But I something that's been on my heart today is when you feel as though what you have been calling in or working towards is right there within your grasp, like you feel it, you can see it, you can, it's like here basically, and then you start crashing out. Anyone else? Anyone else? uh, I want to say like a crash out, but it's like a more, I wish we had a more better term for this, but it's like you're seeing everything else slowly start closing up or no longer fitting or like falling apart or falling down, and your body starts to slowly go back to old patterns or behaviors or comforts, because sometimes it is easier to feel sad, because if that's the state you've always been in, it's easy to fall right back into it when you start seeing it all kind of going down. But I remember seeing a TikTok, and this lady was talking about how she calls the time right before the big things come in. It's like a season of just purging. And she described it so beautifully. It was like this fight between the old self and you, and seeing how your old self is playing these little tiny tricks in your subconscious and kind of trapping you back into those cycles, like really putting in that last fight. And it feels good to constantly be like, talk to the hand, or, start recognizing those traps. It's like, it feels like a flurry of booby traps starts coming out, and you're just like, have a fly swatter, and you're just swatting them all away. And it is a little difficult though at sometimes, because when you turn to the external, you know it's here, you're living it, but you're not, it's not, it feels as though there's a disconnect still. It's like that period of understanding divine timing. Ah. But it is, I think if I speak for my own sake, I think in particular why I feel as though this time is harder than other times before is because December has been a notoriously bad month for me for the past 4 years. Yeah. And I've had so many significant tower moments right around this time. And so my nervous system's used to that. It's very much on high alert. And I'm finding myself doing my grounding practices a lot more. And I am actually really happy I am in Atlanta, because nature, it's really beautiful outside today finally. So I'm going to go for a walk and get grounded. But there's no but really. I think it's like a peaceful crash out kind of moment, and I'm riding that wave. Um, it's kind of funny sometimes, but you kind of have no choice but to laugh and say that this is going to be a really good story at some point. And I think being a natural doer and feeling this heavy call to just sit and to just receive and just be present feel very boring. I'm bored. What am I supposed to do? And it's, I guess, not something I should think about, but more so like, I think it's in these moments that I typically have the biggest wrestle with my belief that I am deserving of rest. When there's so many things that are unknown and so many things that typically I could take action on, but yet knowing I am not meant to do that and I am meant to just sit, I feel this deep pull between, oh, I'm lazy, I'm not putting in the work, I'm self sabotaging, old mind, old self creeping in, and then the new self telling me that I have done everything that I could possibly have done for me to get to this point. And I have to trust that it is now time for that to come back to me and I can rest and I can chill, knowing that things will slowly start making sense. That was hard to even say. That was hard. But that is the new self. But I will have to say though, in comparing this December to the other crash out Decembers, this is like a walk in the park. You know, it still is seeming like everything's crashing, but now it's just more like, interesting how that shaped out to be. Or, you know what? It's funny how we landed here. Interesting. I'm curious to see where this goes. It's so interesting to be on the observing side of it and knowing for the first time that none of this is my fault. I think that was a huge realization for me this morning when I was crashing out. That everything that I'm experiencing right now, it is not because of my fault. It is these things that weren't aligned with me, these things that are still being worked on, there's things that I planted seeds for. I've done everything, and everything I've done is not out of vain or sheer willpower, because apparently I don't have willpower. That's human design. I'll talk about that later. But I have had to learn how to be put in a place to truly trust myself. And as everything is currently still not exactly how I pictured it to be, I am very trusting that that picture is going to get clearer every day and that I deserve rest and that I deserve to no longer have to do things. Like, if I am really calling in this feminine receiving slash just being in my state of creating and setting my days based off of bliss, then why am I fighting so hard to stay in the life that has kept me away from the life that I want? So with that, Manny, so with that. It's all because it's known and that's comfortable, and I can already anticipate my letdowns or frustrations or where I have to push. Whereas here, I don't know. It's everything is brand new, and unknown, and I am so ready to shift my lens from seeing that as a fear thing, like just being scared of what that looks like, versus curiosity. And the way to always get myself to really make that shift from fear to being curious about the unknown is to start learning. Fuck, I gotta pick up a book. I gotta pick up a book. Oh, and I know exactly what book it is because it has been sitting in my desk looking at me every goddamn morning. So, it's time to learn. Because once I learn, I somehow miraculously become unstuck. Not saying that I am stuck, but this like weird waiting room. The door, the nurse allows me into the actual facility now, you know. So yeah, we'll see how that goes, but enjoy your peaceful crash outs, they're needed, and just see it from a second person's point of view and just recognize that everything that you've done is not out of vain or wasteful. It was all leading you to here and is also leading you into places and rooms and opportunities that you could have never fathomed. Because if that's anything I've learned over the past 3 months, that's definitely the case. So continue believing in yourself. Continue believing in your aspirations, in your inner world, and that it's already here. Play the role. Play the person that has all of it. I'm playing the very soft feminine woman right now who takes baths at 1 p.m. on a Wednesday. So if that's what you want, do the same thing. And I hope you guys enjoy your beautiful day. With love and gratitude, Manny.